NASA called, they want their engineering back, because Apple just dropped an update that feels less like software and more like a tactical deployment. If you are sitting on an older iPhone or iPad, I'm going to say something shocking. Do not tap install on 26.4 until you watch the next 5 minutes. There is a hidden setting Apple slipped into this version that completely changes how you make purchase decisions, and if you get this wrong, it's going to cost you serious money. I'll show you exactly how to avoid it at the very end of the video. For the 96.7% of you fine gentlemen watching, and the experienced buyers among us, I'm Fernando, your trusted tech friend, and this is your 26.4 briefing. iOS and iPad OS 26.4 are officially live. Let's get the dry logistics out of the way, because credibility matters. We are looking at build number 23 times 10 to the power of 244. If you're checking your general about settings, that's the public target. Now let's talk size. This download is roughly 8 GB. Remember the days when an entire operating system fit on a floppy disk? Those days are long gone. Since this is 8 GB, I highly recommend ensuring you have at least 12 to 16 GB of free, open storage before you even attempt this installation to avoid any errors. If you don't, the brain stays when it senses a missing answer, so make sure you have the space. We are going straight to Apple Music, and this is where emotion hits first. Apple is opening a dopamine gap here. They've introduced playlist playgrounds. When you create a new playlist, you now have a beautiful new, I won't say amazing, but nice to have immersive UI. It corresponds with the album artwork. But the real feature? You now get predetermined prompts and a prompt bar. This is our first major foreshadowing of what the new Siri, maybe integrated with Gemini, is going to look like. Curiosity beats clarity at the start. You just type a prompt, say, Justin Bieber, don't judge my test prompt, press enter, and wait. It takes 5 to 10 seconds, but the brain waits for that reward. Then boom. It delivers a custom, generated playlist. You can refresh it, add more suggestions, and when you're done, it's saved. We tension relief, they deliver value, tease next, move forward. Now, here's a feature that Spotify has had since dial-up, but Apple finally got the memo. If you go to an artist page, like Justin Bieber's, you'll see a brand new logo at the top, upcoming concerts. Tap that, and you get all the dates, plus direct links to Ticketmaster, StubHub, or bands in town to grab tickets. I'm personally Team Spotify, don't at me, but I know many of you aren't, so this is a great addition. And here's where it gets crazy. Shazam. We all love Shazam. But what if you're on a plane? Think back to the early internet days when being offline meant, being offline. Now, if you are offline or in airplane mode and you Shazam a song, your phone will actually recognize and save that track without data. When your data connection returns, it pops up the notification, nice and easy. That is a smart, clever update I know you'll appreciate. Tension is flat if we don't pace it. Let's move to relief. We got widgets. Specifically, 2 new interactive widgets, small and large, for ambient music and sounds. These are interactable right on the home screen. Tap the sleep sound, and it highlights. Tap well-being, and it switches. If you want more info, tapping it opens a new, dedicated UI. It multitasking separate from Apple Music, so you know it has its own little ambient logic now. Now let's talk podcasts. I know what some of you are thinking. I already watch video podcasts on YouTube. True. But Apple now natively supports actual video within the Podcasts app. You'll see a new emblem on video episodes. TED Talks, for example, will start playing video automatically. But because you guys are savvy, I know you value specific details over hype. Apple also added a Hide Video button. If you are on data and don't want to burn through your plan downloading video in real time, just hide it. You get the audio, and you are good to go. You can flip between video and audio easily, no problems whatsoever. And speaking of video, Apple added new subtitle styles, classic, large outline, and transparent text. This is a nice little accessibility feature. Honestly, more customization goes a long way. But now we have to go to settings. And I have to say this. I still hate this new layout. UT for finding apps and settings. It's like Apple took a usability test and said, let's do the opposite of what's convenient. You have to find the apps folder, then scroll forever. I know I can search it, but still. Brain stays when it senses a missing answer, and the answer should be simpler navigation. Anyway, once you survive that, Safari has updates. This is where skepticism naturally mid-script enters. Apple is letting you decide, separate tab bar or compact tab bar on iPadOS. Compact tab bar moves the URL bar into the tabs. Now, let's talk about why Apple is suddenly making it easier to leave their ecosystem. If you go to Settings Safari, this new setting, Export History and Website Data. This is brand new. If you have Chrome, Edge, or other browsers installed, which experienced buyers always do, you can now export everything, your bookmarks, passwords, and history, straight to Chrome. Why would Apple do that? Reference credible sources naturally. This is likely a direct response to the massive DOJ antitrust lawsuit Apple is facing. Trigger emotion first, then logic. They are scared, and so they are giving you features they previously wouldn't dream of. Create stakes. Make viewer feel their decisions depend on this video. If you are tired of Safari, you now have a direct pathway out, deliver value, tease next, move forward. Okay, we got that serious stuff out of the way. Let's talk about a major victory. The no repetition, but this is important. We have been ranting for months about the virtual keyboard situation. This is the first iPhone moment all over again, except with input lag. The virtual, on-screen keyboard lag in 26.3 was infuriating. No one saw this coming, but 26.4 finally has the official fix for the keyboard in the release notes. My buddy Steven Robles is going to love that, and if you have been suffering, so are you. The lag is gone. Peace has been restored. Let's talk credibility numbers. Shortcuts got an update. For experienced buyers who plan their upgrade cycles, this is huge. You can now use the set battery charge limit automation to switch between 80% and 100%. If you want your iPhone 15 Pro Max's battery to last 5 years, you should automate that to stay at 80% except for long travel days. And let's look at the battery numbers I'm seeing on the 26.4 public version. On March 19th, I got 10 hours and 53 minutes of screen on time with 65% usage. Yesterday, 10.5 hours. Battery life, gentlemen, is taking a great turn overall. Tension relief, tension, never flat. It looks like they got the logic right after triggering our frustration for months. We can have a fun update without emojis. 8 new ones are here: the distorted face, the trombone, shout out to the trombone players, a treasure chest, an orca, a landslide, a ballet dancer, a fighting cloud, and a hairy creature. It's basically Bigfoot, and I'm convinced NASA did the engineering on that one too. Let me know which of these you're going to use in the comments. The App Store got a layout difference. The search bar is now at the top. The actual account settings, when you tap in, are laid out differently too. Your subscriptions and updates have their own dedicated tabs now. And this new Apple account button logo has been updated. But remember that bold, shocking statement from the first 10 seconds of this video about how this update changes purchase decisions? Close every loop opened in the video. Here is the payoff. Apple just enabled a new feature for family plans, individual payment methods. Experienced buyers often have corporate expense cards or separate family accounts. Previously, when you were on a family plan in the App Store, you had to use the one default family payment method. Now you can still share the subscriptions but use your own individual payment method for separate app purchases or movie rentals. That is a massive change for experienced buyers. 26.4 is actually a robust update. It fixes the keyboard, adds powerful battery automations, unlocks new audio features, and delivers the first real AI foreshadowing in Apple Music. Thank goodness they finally fixed the keyboard situation, because people stay for feeling, not facts, and that feeling of lag was just painful. So I have to ask you, are you Team Apple Music, or are you Team Spotify? Which device are you using, iPhone, iPad, Mac? Let's discuss it down in the comments below. And if you made it to the end, leave a lit. Le dolphin. Or maybe that hairy creature Bigfoot. If you want some more coverage on the MacBook Neo, the M4 iPad Air, or that Aloic monitor review I have coming real soon, click one of these videos right here. Peace, everyone.